Welcome back, everybody, to another exciting episode of Dungeons and Dragons. From my garage to you, with love, passion, adventure. I bring you the story of a bunch of gangsters turned racers as they scream across the Kalashite Desert, heading towards victory or failure, as fates might deign. Having fought off challenge after challenge that the desert might throw at them, be they bandits, massive worms, insect swarms, and more and more and more, they now reach upon Teshburl, a massive port city, responsible for the navy and massive protests against the Great Race, in which they are now participating the third leg of, or hoping to. With a broken platform towed in by the Rolling Tavern and its proprietor Moymoy, they come towards a junkyard. The junkyard, they hope, has parts, the opportunity to fix their bus, their vehicle, their race platform. They fight upon the massive twisted metal golem that rises. Besting it, nearing being bested by it, the proprietor of the junkyard, a tired old man, comes to stop his golem and have a conversation with these would-be interlopers. In that conversation, they discovered the old legacy of the De La Vegas, and that the old man is in fact the old Black Thumb of. After a brief conversation, and in discovering what he holds, the adventurers walk away possibly with a glimmer of hope towards their fate in the Great Race, amidst others that they hear of, from their history come upon, that they seek to explore as well. And as we come upon our crew, we see Lazarus the Massive, adorned by his companions, being directed by the lizardly draconian fellow, Barium, directing him to pull different parts, wrenching the metal apart where it's been twisted from the platform's mounts. The pieces of the ballista clattering to the ground in the mid-morning sun as it peeks across the many buildings all around. Hey, whoever's watching us through the stream, man, it's kind of distracting. Who is that? Oh, is that me? No, hold on, that's me, isn't it? It's me, isn't it? Or is it? Maybe. Do I have Chrome open here? No, it's not me.
I'll mute and see.
What is it?
I think
I couldn't hear anything.
I could hear it.
Can
I was
hear.
getting a little bit of feedback.
Yeah.
Sounds like Cody then.
Maybe?
Is it me?
Are you guys watching it through the stream?
I have it on all the time.
Oh, okay. It's coming through oddly clear on my end. I don't know, the audio is really weird tonight. Anyhow, what was I? Sorry. Yeah. We're watching as Barium is directing Lazarus, and was it Sorth was helping out too? Or Bjorn? Can't remember if it was Bjorn or...
Yeah, I think Cody's helping.
I don't think
Sorth
ever helps with that.
No, I don't play with the machines.
That's fair enough. We watch as Barium carries... Barium's directing Lazarus as Bjorn carries a large chunk out from behind the van and hucks it down on the ground, freshly torn from where the battle bus's armor mounts have given way. The sun, now peeking between the buildings, still low against the horizon, causes hard reflections off the twisted, sand-blasted steel pile in front of you. As the camera crossfades to show a lot of you conducting yourselves around the place, it pans towards the Phoenix, showing the feet of a short stature sticking up on the dash, or maybe through the window. And we hear a light snoring as the sun peeks up slowly, stabbing into your eyes, as we watch the lids wince slightly and you jostle yourself such that a few more minutes of shade are afforded. Camera pans to where Sorth stands, doing what where? Where is Sorth? You guys are currently at the junkyard, if I remember. Or did you jump on Did you jump on the Rolling Tavern?
Yeah, I went back to the tavern because I have some meat sitting there.
Okay,
I'm
very
building
good.
a supply.
Are you coming back with the meat, or are you staying on the bus?
I was just staying on the bus.
Okay. In that case, the camera pans upwards to show in the distance dust clouds rising slowly from the city streets. Some narrow, some wide. The camera pans down low to show the Rolling Tavern, a massive form on several wheels, trundling along squeakily and creakily, clanking as it does through the city streets, sandstone buildings square all around. As the sun streaks across and shows you situated through one of the windows, as Moymoy stands in the background, polishing the bar top in the no shit, eh? I wish I had that big 3D printed key that's been making the memes. The F. That was quick. Take a moment then. Holy shit. The camera pans to show you standing in the window. A couple of Moymoy's men walk away from your meat, having freshly packaged it or repackaged it. Moymoy offers, I think he offered to buy some of it from you before.
I feel like he did. I
Yeah.
think so.
Okay. So that's happened already. Trying to think whatever else. That's about it. He asked you at one point, "Where is you going, lizard?"
I don't know. Back to the bus, I guess.
Okay, you on tour. You on tour. It shows you watch the bus. It shows you watching out the bus as the bus kind of trundles in the same sort of touring pattern that it was holding before. And as the bus rolls around, you can see something down the distance of the many streets. Being in the quarter that you are currently it's kind of bleak, it seems. There's dilapidated buildings, not a lot of population. The population you see is kind of downtrodden. As it rolls back around, mostly industrial, you might say, with a bunch of manufacturing going on in the city streets. People doing weaving, people doing clanking of, you can hear clanking coming out of nearby buildings, soot rising up off of different foundries nearby as the many nearby buildings are working hard, smashing together whatever metals and wood are being fashioned for the Navy's needs. The whole of the air around here, as the morning sun crawls across, becomes thicker and thicker with an acrid scent of burning coal and steel, metals hot and sulfurous, being burnt upon. The whole of the air is hot enough, but becomes even hotter. You love it. And as this occurs, the sulfurous air becomes thicker and thicker. You don't love that so much. It's super thick. To the point of almost burning your nostrils at times as the bus trundles along through an especially heavily clanging street, I guess, as you pass by a couple of these manufacturing buildings, massive wooden and sandstone walls, huge stacked brick, making large two-story buildings from which you can hear huge hammers smashing steel, and moreover the loud cries of orders being shouted out all across the yard. As the bus continues its tour, you also see in the distant streets, far and away, the population thicken. And in the distance, you start to see streams of smoke start to come up across the horizon. As the bus continues along, you see the peoples thicken and thicken ever more down the widening streets that you can sight down the main, and you see a procession, a large parade, all of a sudden, as the bus suddenly passes by one of the buildings, and you just have this vista open up in front of you of this city street stretching away, and you see massive buildings on either side. And as the street, somewhat dusty and cobbled, stretches away, you see fountains and fanciful decorum all over. And at the far side, as I say, a massive protest, a procession of peoples, all pissed, as they walk along, and you see signs amidst them scrawled, some built out of whatever wood or some adorned with bits of reflective metals, and moreover, many of them carrying the look of anger and weapons in their hands as they storm forth and smash through the various decorums that stand beautiful in the sun, only to become piles of rubble a moment later as the wave of peoples comes forth out of the many alleyways and doorways and city streets, flooding upon this main, crashing against all of the beautiful buildings far and away. And as you watch this occur, you see an almost equally large swath of armored figures appear and move in upon. As one after the next, they meet and clash, and the many individuals who would be vandals and protesters are pushed back, many of them arrested and pulled off. Suddenly, you see flares of flame and flashes of explosions go off, and some of the armored figures explode away. Humongous violent scene. As the humongously violent scene explodes in front of you, you watch dismemberment, destruction, and the bus suddenly picks up speed as Moymoy says, "Oh, it's exciting, huh?" Hey, one sec. Yo, it's the other house. It's the other house. No worries.
Very exciting.
Man, maybe I should have taken the food. I don't know.
It's like, yeah, this is the place.
Yeah, I think I ordered that.
No, I just left it there.
Yeah, thanks, man. I've been waiting for this.
Man, what took you so long?
30 minutes and it's free, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. So there's that. Where am I? Sorry. Right. As you watch the humongously violent scene explode in front of you, it continues on as the bus picks up speed, and Moymoy says, "Oh, it's so exciting around here." As you continue rolling through the streets, you watch as a sudden appearance of armored figures comes challenging upon the Rolling Tavern. Upon horseback, several soldiers close the distance on the rolling, clanking structure. One of them hops dexterously off the horse onto the landing platform while it moves and approaches in through the doorway, looking over towards the many staff members, reviewing them in a quick sweep, his eyes locking on you for a moment. He then pans over towards Moymoy, and Moymoy looks at him. "Drink, sir?" He gestures towards the bar as the armored figure walks in and looks around. He gives a hand wave towards Moymoy after an awkward moment of silence, and the many staff go about their duties after a moment of stasis. He turns on his heel and walks towards the landing platform once again, where his companions have his horse's reins still in gallop next to the Rolling Tavern. He walks off to the loading platform, gives a quick finger loop, and jumps from the landing platform down onto the horse, the lot of them a moment later, riding away. Moymoy exhales after a moment of tension and looks over towards the staff member nearest to him, muttering something in Kalashite, then returns to the glass he was polishing, stops, puts it down, pops a bottle, and pours himself a drink. He looks towards you and simply cheers before knocking it back. The camera pans against the whole of it. Are you doing anything? If you want to do anything, just jump in anytime at all.
Yeah, Source is literally just sitting there. He's still pretty battered and bruised from getting his butt kicked.
Fair enough. As the camera pans against the bus as it continues to roll separate and away back along its pattern as the guards roll off on their horses heading an opposite direction. You see in the distance behind the bus as you glance backwards, they ride hard towards more protesters who are in the city streets down there. They scream, the protesters shout, and they clash hard. They disappear in the mass, their arms and figures appearing momentarily here and there as they continue to enact and propagate the violence. The bus continues clanking along, rolling through the street until you see in the distance the familiar form of the junkyard once again. And as you come around, you can see the crew hard at work, tearing apart the whole of it. At this point, you see Barium surveying the mounts on the ballista, having already reviewed where the various armor platings are missing. Bjorn, having taken log from, has a record of what you guys need for the junkyard if you want to go searching.
Yeah, I'll make my way to the junkyard and start trying to find some scrap that would function for replacement armor.
So, at Barium's behest, you head off looking for any sort of flat stock, any sort of junk flat metal that can be utilized. Roll me investigation.
8.
You don't manage to find anything at first. However, you think you find what looks to be a crate of, in fact, flat stock, forgotten, thick pieces of long metal wedged under a pile of rotted platforms. Massive metal platforms, one after the next, crushed and stacked such that they hold the whole of the crate wedged under more wrecked platforms. And that particular crate that you discover down a bit of an alley of wrecked metal stuff that has been piled up high.
All right. I feel like we're really gonna need that, so I'm gonna cast enhanceability full strength on myself and try and muscle that crate out of there.
Okay. As you do, you roll me strength. I'm gonna grab some water. I'll be right back.
Yep.
Alright, big roll here. Big roll.
You got it.
I think I should. We'll see. I have advantage and I'm pretty strong, but
Double one.
Don't pull the Torfu.
Yeah. Yeah, don't do that. That was rough. That poor guy.
I can't believe you killed that guy.
just
First we burn him, and then he gets beat by a turtle.
It wasn't even targeted, it was just friendly fire.
We should have just let him be. We would have had a better chance.
Yeah.
So I should have tried to attack him, and then my one
Yeah.
should have missed and hit the enemy.
That's right. Now you're thinking. Gotta pre-plan for these things.
That's right. So I want to get some rope lights and hang them on my walls.
Alright,
Yeah, it's probably
do you want
loud.
straight strength or athletics for that?
It's athletics.
16.
Nice. Hey, look at this. You manage to rock the crate back and forth. Sorry, not rock it, but swivel the crate back and forth, just shimmying it so it gets itself unwedged from underneath. Hey, buddy, you going to bed? All right. Big day, Vex.
Alright guys, I gotta go. Have a good night.
Yeah, it's been a great session.
On to
That
Brent.
was the best session we've ever had. Like, literally. Wow.
The Americans are still recovering from Memorial Day.
I have 2 Dobranskis now.
Sorry, gentlemen.
Wait, what?
What?
What on earth?
Dude, this is a vlog.
Okay.
The Bransky's vlogging.
Is he gonna do a striptease for us? I mean, not this stream, dude. We can't do that on this stream. I have no idea what Alex is doing there. Okay.
No, I gotta walk the dog, so I'm gonna take it with me, so that way I don't miss anything. Don't mind me.
All right. At least we got an equal number of videos, I guess. So where was I? Right. Barium's going over the mounts. Bjorn is getting a crate of flat stock slowly unwedged. It gets to a point where you find that it can't quite jostle any further. As you look at the hole of the crate, you can see that there's actually a bit of a hole in the top, and one of the crushed pieces of the platform is wedged into it, meaning that you'll have to lift it out or somehow get it unhooked from. So the crate itself, it is made of framed metal and then wood slats across with metal trim to them.
And if I try and pull that piece out, it's stuck in there.
It seems to be.
It's just necessary to keep this trash pile from killing me.
It's you've managed to rock it back and forth such that the whole of the pile is swaying a bit, but it's not precariously doing so. You know that if you take the crate out, there's a good chance that it will fall in on you, but you're hoping not.
Can I put my shoulder into the pile on the crate and try and push it away from me? Like, could it fall backwards, or is it like
With
a trash
your-
mountain?
With your extra strength, I mean, for sure, I'll allow that. Throw me another
Okay.
athletics.
19.
You manage to do so. To your own surprise, the whole of the pile begins to fall just so, starts to lean, and in that, a moment later, you watch as it falls away, crashing end over end, the various pieces sprawling across another pile, causing a domino effect of several piles to suddenly explode in a cacophony of twisting metal and steel. As a massive cloud of rust and dust billows and explodes upwards, it then a moment later seems that fate wants a laugh, and the winds kick up, blowing the whole of it over towards you and the rest of the yard. As this fog races across you, you suddenly see and hear the massive twisting form of the golem in the distance as it gets up and lets out a strange roar/groan. It moves across the landscape in front of you, picking through the pieces and slowly stacking them up. You watch as one after the next, the huge form takes each piece of twisted metal, untwisting its form to make it more or less a straight, flat piece as best it can, and places them genially, I want to say, on top of one another. You now have this thing more or less unwedged and uncovered. You watch behind you as the teetering form of the massive pile that's behind you continues to sway ever so temptingly.
Can I pick up this crate and carry it back, or is it
It's
a little
humongous.
too heavy?
It's humongous, yeah.
Okay.
You can push it in the dust, but that's about it.
Yeah, I'll get behind it and throw my shoulder into it and start pushing it towards where the bus is.
It grinds against the dirt as you shove it forth, making your way against the dirt. An athletics check later, you find yourself
13.
You find yourself slowly making your way back towards your companions. As you get into the main drag, if you will, of the yard, you can see your companions in the distance, and they see you shoving the massive box up the way.
Some help. I've found some armor that we could use to repair the bus.
A short montage later, I'm assuming Lazarus helps out there, bringing the box to bear. You unpack it, and to your surprise, they are more or less pristine, long, thick slabs that are near perfect for the job. The only thing is they lack machining, holes, mountings, etc. Things that barium can take care of easily. With that said, the camera pans against the hull of the bus and shows you all reflected in its surface as the sun climbs higher and higher. And as this occurs, the camera pans to show somewhere nearby the form figure of a tall, slender individual in a... Actually, hold on a sec. Let me double check something. It's been a while since I looked at this. I want to make sure I get a description correct. No shit, eh?
Yes.
Weird, got some static there.
Static?
Yeah, for a moment, anyway.
Oh, it's probably from me putting up my mic.
Alright.
How's that vlog going?
Yeah, it's pretty nice out tonight. Clear skies, no fire. We're doing pretty good.
I love that no fire has to be a qualifying statement these days. It's
Wait.
completely sad.
Yeah. He's a meteorologist too. Oh, we got clear skies, gentle breeze. Perfect night to walk your dog.
Right, okay. Ba-dee-ba-dee-boo. Alright. The hell though, where is the... Okay, there it is. Alright, so we see a tall, slender figure in a long coat presented in the frame of a small dwelling where we see a few people lined up on a bench. As we see the individual in the coat working away, he's currently rolling a bandage across the individual, across an individual's arm that we can see just inside the framed portal window of the dwelling. The framing portal dwelling of the portal window of the dwelling. Yeah, say that 6 times fast. As the figure continues and finishes, the individual he's caring for a moment later rises, and as they give a nod, the individual walks out the door, looking around and giving a nod towards the next person sitting in the line. That person gets up and walks in, coughing slightly as they do. They appear inside, and as the camera pans to follow the individual inside the building, we see a small, modest shelter with a cot to the one side and a rack of various vials lined up alongside it. a shelf of books nearby with a few small volumes, and the individual who coughs again, spattering blood down onto a white sheet that the individual hands them. The fellow gives a nod, reaches over and picks up a vial, and there's a montage of the individual mixing up a hot draft of some form, the fluid steaming as he offers it in a wooden cup, with a slight white dust floating around in it. As the individual thanks them cordially, they produce 2 small copper bits and place them in a bowl, in which we can see several various coins, no particular denomination or arrangement. The camera pans along the face of the individual as he lowers the cup and gives another cough, stifling it slightly, and then a moment later a smaller one. Taking another sip, he waits a moment, and with a relieved look, gives a slight nod, to which he reaches deep down and pulls out another 2 bits and a silver and places them in the bowl amidst the first 2. The doctor gives a nod, and the fellow walks out with the wooden cup in hand. The next individual walks in as we crossfade across the tall, slender figure's face. We see various features. We see ears, nose, there are eyes as well, and there's a chin. There's also shoulders, arms, hands, feet, legs. They are tall, sort of, and they weigh an amount. So with that said, the camera pans against them some further to show their patience, and then pans along to show the protesters nearby who are making their way away from the building. We see a few guards in the distance looking over towards the various protesters in the squat shelter. And as the guards look over towards for a little too long, we see a few of the protesters suddenly rush towards those guards. The camera pans along to show the framed figure, the doctor figure inside the shelter with the frame behind him, now framing the long street ahead as we see the violence explode. The protesters leaping through the air as though they were ravaging savages, breaking down upon the silvered line of the city's elite. We watch as the many guardsmen fall to the massive swath, the population simply crashing into them like a tidal wave of angry, or anger, if you prefer. As we hear the twisting metal and the crunching screams from the distance, the doctor continues to treat the individual in front of him. And as the individual thanks him and pulls out the armband with the patch and places it back over where he was wounded, he gives a nod and he picks up his cudgel and he runs out the door as the next one walks in. So, you watch as the protester runs out to get himself fucked up again. Do you say anything to him before he goes?
I give him a grunt to make sure that he does not get hurt. It's like a form of prayer. Just like that. Like there's something stuck in your throat. Like you want to puke, but not really.
He thanks you cordially, tears in his eyes, and he rushes out. As he joins the fray, you watch as the blood, sparks, and mass float away. The camera pans against the whole of your shelter, showing you there. You're spending your morning at the moment taking care of whatever patients. But what would you do afterwards, typically? You've been here for a little while.
I would scope out the city and look for potential candidates for some new experiments I'm running.
As the camera pans against your face, it shows a flash of your eyes as you look up towards this individual. And looking them up and down for the moment, you decide maybe they do, maybe they don't fit. But it cuts away from you to show the bus as Barium places a new post in the mount with a loud scrape of metal. As the scrape of metal echoes all around and you place the post down, there's a short montage of you guys looking over the flat stock that Laz and Bjorn bring upon. Putting together a set of tools, you quickly start to machine the mounting holes and other mounting holes as necessary for the attaching them to the bus. Throw me shit. What would I make you throw? What do I make you throw typically for manufacturing? I can't remember, but you know what? We're gonna go with dexterity in this case.
Yeah, I think it's changed depending on like the situation we were in.
Fair enough.
Rolled an 11.
Okay.
Oh, that was a dex save. Hey, I'm rusty. It's been a while.
No worries. You have proficiency. You can add proficiency to this.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't have an appropriate
Oh, and
skill
it's,
in mind.
15.
All right. Putting together a heated press to drill through the metal. You use your artificer ability to do this, manifesting and utilizing the tools to create the holes as necessary. One after the next, you punch a sheet, then another, then another. You find that they're a bit too long. We'll have to cut them down. Throw me strength. Laz can help out with this. Anybody who wants to with a strength of 15 or better can help out with this.
Alright.
15 or better athletics.
Yeah, it's a Laz job.
Come on, Laz. Gotta roll strength check, right?
Yes, sir.
22.
Fantastic.
And I got a 19.
Great. The two of you hold the board very steady, the metal very steady as Barium carves accordingly. What did Barium get there?
Strength.
Yes, sir.
That was a 12.
That'll be enough. You manage to hold a straight line as you carve across it with your friend's help. One after the next, the sheets go by quickly. You have a large stack of scrap steel. Each of the chunks that you cut off is about a foot and a bit. So each of the panels is actually just a bit narrower than your previous ones, but still gives the appropriate coverage. You just have slightly larger gaps between them, but they still meet the mounting holes. They still cover the skeleton frame, the substructure, and now that you've cut them up, they fit into the spot, just so. You've ended up with, as I said, a bunch of scrap pieces. So these things were, can't remember what we said. I think they're 3 feet a piece in width. And you've carved off about a foot from the bottom, 1.5 feet, or a foot and a bit. And with that said, they're a bit thicker than the other armor plates. They still fit in the within the area. They just stick out a little. That said, that's your armor plates. Having been replaced. You still have a bunch of flat stock, in fact. You have 2 large pieces left. And a bunch of scrap steel. Large chunks.
Do we gain some health back for that armor?
Yeah, on the bus you get what did I say? It's 20 hit points per plate, or was it 40 per plate?
I just have our
I can look it up.
current health
I'm pretty sure I can
as
look it up here.
534 out of 1,000.
Sorry, how much?
I have us at 534 out of 1,000.
I'm searching my notes for it as well. It says 8. I've got noticed here 800 hit points for armor, 200 for the bus structure. And that was back when Kumito was
200 per
driving.
plate?
I'm assuming so. 8 plates and 800 total, so 100 per plate. I'm
100 per
guessing, 'cause there
plate. There you
were
go.
8 plates or 3
Yeah,
plates?
there's 8 plates.
Yeah, so you have listed. I've
100
written the notes
piece.
here. 800 for armor, 200 for bus structure.
Awesome. So 100 per plate that you get back. And you were missing 3 plates, was it?
Yeah, I think so.
If you're watching on the stream, how's the music on there?
Seems a bit low.
Alright. Better that than mine, I suppose. It's actually really loud here in the studio. Alright. So that's the armor plates. Like I say, you guys managed to get those fixed up. As the whole of you look upon your handiwork there, Barium looks up towards the ballista, and honestly, you're not sure where you're going to get the parts for that. You're going to probably have to fabricate the machinations, and you're not quite looking forward to that. But nothing you can't really handle in the end. Point is, you don't know where you're going to get the cable. You don't know where you're going to get springy metal unless you bang it down out of something. It's going to take some looking around the yard as you scan about briefly, looking at the job ahead of you. However, as you look around, you also see opportunities. You see that right there. That, you think to yourself, that's a cannon, I think. Yeah. As you walk over towards it, sure as shit, salvageable, you think to yourself. Not over there, what is that? Huh. There's another form of strange cannon. Seems to fire, what is this, a hose coming off it to a pump. Fires something else. What is that? As you look over and above the thing, it's got several puncture marks and it burns and scorches out by the end of the barrel, the business end. The whole of it's slightly bent down, as well as you can see another piece of flat metal has crushed it some other way. The whole of the area, of course, is just a disaster of various flat stocks that haven't yet been stacked by the yard's dutiful caretaker. As you continue looking about slightly, you see piece after piece that could, quite possibly, be as good a replacement, if not better. There's a lot here. A lot of old stuff. You really want to make a ballista again? You could. You could. You see that right there? Those are clock springs. There's a pile of them. You could do this, one way or the other. But what is it you want to build? What is it you want to make? You're not sure. Maybe the ballista is a good idea. Keeps it simple. So, what do you do?
I think I should ask my team, because I need to figure out who might be manning whatever we try to put together. But besides that, I need to kind of look over what is available and what can be built out of these scrap parts.
Lads would be happy to get back behind the cannon again.
The list is nice and all, but I do think like cannon is hefty in a vehicle race, you know.
While this is going on, could Orion be playing around with the ignition on this this other
100%.
Could he be trying to like
Start it?
Jimmy get to start?
Sure.
Yeah.
It does have a key tumbler apparatus in the traditional form, but the key itself seems to be some sort of strange object. It's a rectangular thing that must have some crazy teeth on it, from what you can tell from the ignition hole. As you faddle about underneath, you've already got like the panel open. That was a quick, deft twist of your wrist. But throw me investigation.
Nat 20.
Inspector Gadget over there.
As
That's a plus 0.
as you look upon the nest of various connections, you suss the ones that hook up to the tumbler and manage to sever and reconnect them such that you see there is in fact a spark that flies off to your surprise. But you hear a tick behind you. And you hear a whir, and then a moment later, nothing.
Tick and a whir.
You literally hear a tick and a high-pitched whirring start up. Sounds like it's very quick. And then it slowly ebbs off a moment later.
Could I touch the wires together a little longer this time?
Yeah, you do so. The whirring goes on. And then nothing happens afterwards. It keeps whirring while you hold the wires together. And as you let off, so does the whining a moment later.
Okay. Is there a gas tank on this thing? I get this was the magical one, right?
Throw me another investigation check.
All right. 13.
Following the sound easily enough, you can tell it's coming from the back of the vehicle somewhere, where you can see various pipes sticking out the top of the vehicle and following down the length of it, acting as exhaust at the back. Or maybe propulsion, you're not sure. From there, you suss that the whirring is coming from inside, underneath this panel in front of you. But with your 13, you can't quite suss how to remove the panel. The camera pans against the outside of the doorway, showing you inside, faddling about, as the old man is seen, his shadow is seen as he walks out the front doorway of his residence, not bearing any mind to you messing about with the De La Vega legacy. The Phoenix.
Okay. Did I catch wind of that, like him leaving, or did I not even?
You're seeing it. No, you're seeing him leaving. Like,
oh,
yeah.
Seeing it. Okay. Okay. I'll Could I sneak into his residence?
Pretty easily, yeah.
All right. I'd like to do that.
You find yourself inside his living space. It's thick with the smell of wood and sand and sweat.
Okay, I would like to search around for the actual key, see if I can find it anywhere using my thief senses, my years of thieving. I kind of know where people like to hide shit, so.
Throw me perception.
14.
After a moment, you realize you've surveyed the whole of the place and have not found a key. Or, for that matter, any sort of hatch or wall safe or anything like that. At least not in his living space.
Nothing under the mattress either.
Nothing but stains and weevils.
Okay. Perhaps I'll return to the rear of the vessel then, and I'll take a closer look at that panel to see how I can remove it.
Okay.
Or maybe I'll just try and forcefully remove the panel. We can fix it later. If it's possible.
I mean, it's a hardy chunk of metal, from what you can tell.
Oh, okay.
You want to try? I mean, it looks like
I'll
a
try it.
frame of. Like, it doesn't seem to be any hatch at all.
Oh, okay. It's just like a panel of metal.
If anything, it looks like the top half of the whole vehicle. So, sorry. Just to clarify, you're on the outside of the vehicle, seeing the top of it with the chrome pipes sticking out the back. Then there's the cockpit in front of it, okay, and the seating and everything like that. And you follow the sound to outside the vehicle where these pipes are going down into it.
Okay. So, and was I able to pick off which pipe the sound is coming from? Like, is it coming from one single pipe?
The whole of
Or
the
is it
pipe
coming-
set resonates with the sound.
Okay. Okay. Could I actually go up to the old man and ask him to show me this vehicle? Can I take a look under the hood, kind of thing?
No, he says as he walks away.
Oh.
And don't you damage that thing. That is the Den of Vega's legacy. You will respect it. You may see, you may touch, but you may not leave stain upon it with your grubby little hands.
I simply just wanted to see what was under the hood. That's all. I was just curious how it works.
You would not understand. Know that it is a fiery fiend of a machine.
What does it sound like? It must sound absolutely glorious.
Like the screaming of 1,000 suns roaring across the sands. I must go.
wish I could have
I
heard.
require groceries.
I'll let you go, and I'm gonna observe it's more. Rico, he was such a good friend of mine, and used to go on and on about this vehicle, the legend of it, and it's how glorious it was. And it's a shame. I would have loved to see him here.
He gives
I
a
would
nod
have
to
loved
this.
to hear the engine roar. It'd just be nice to just hear it out. That one more time in his memory.
He gives a nod at this and he says to you, Rico did not know this vehicle. It is the reconstructed vehicle that his father passed away in, but he never saw it.
Oh.
I will go get milk now. And he simply turns away from you and walks off.
Yeah, yes. Travel safe.
Anyone ball situate him, Ryan?
I'm fresh at balls.
Wasn't there a key at some point that we had or did?
Oh,
have
I wanted to
that
say, he
does not fit this.
when you say this to him, sorry, I meant to say, he actually grabs from around his neck the necklace that you've seen him wear the whole time. You never thought about it, but as he pulls it out, you see the ring that you gave him drop off on the string next to a small chunk of bronze, about yay long, with several divots in it. And you can see clearly upon it a bird etched in its form. And he holds it and he says what he says about Ricardo, and he gives it a kiss, and he puts it down. And walks away.
As he's walking away, do I see? Is there any loose junkyard material nearby that may happen to accidentally fall on him?
I'm sorry?
I just want to make sure he's safe.
Well,
wants to murder the old man.
Right back in the swing of things, I see. So murder hobos it is.
Well, you did already kill his dogs.
Just one.
Only one.
Wait, actually, could I
Kill his other dog?
could I run to catch up to him and slew foot him by accident? Like make it as accidental as possible, so he falls on the ground.
You're gonna accidentally body check them, old man?
Well, I'm a very small individual. I feel like I would just kind of take the legs out from under him by accident.
So you're gonna accidentally spear check the old guy?
Yeah. As accidentally as possible.
As you come rushing in towards him, he looks towards you, and passive insight. I mean, are you doing this stealthy?
Yeah, like from behind him, I want to like kind of like speed walk to catch up because he's an old man, right?
Roll
Is
me
he frail?
stealth.
Like,
Roll me stealth at disadvantage. We'll see how
Okay.
quietly you do this.
22 is my lowest.
You close the distance on. Throw me athletics to spear him.
Oh God, 10. Does anybody want to? I can't get inspired for that, can I?
You can get inspired for everything, even the shittiness of it all.
Does somebody want to inspire that?
No.
I don't know.
I can't see this coming.
I don't know who you are, but I'll help you.
Ah, thank you. Okay,
All the way from my clinic.
it's Matt.
Call on me again.
Math 20. Math 20.
Okay. He rolled a 3, by the way. You spear into him, and as he hoofs and claps down into the dirt, what do you do?
Could I quickly sleight of hand to swipe the necklace off his neck without him noticing?
You can.
Hopefully.
Yep.
Roll. 12.
Uh-oh.
Rears back and bitch slaps him instead.
As you grasp a hold of it and snatch it off his neck, you don't quite manage to cup it properly, and he catches the glint of it in your hand, and you see the trail of string and his eyes, and you know you've been made. Sorry, what was it?
This is why we can't have good friends.
In comes the golem.
As the old man looks up at you, you hear his voice suddenly echo in Kalashite, a quick and simple phrase. And in the distance you hear an echoing screech roar of metal. And as the old man, with a scared look in his eyes, scrabbles the best he can away from you in this moment, slow motion camera flowing upwards across your body at the front, showing the large stature of the Iron Giant roaring across the junkyard in the background. Fuzzy at the moment, it shows you in focus as you turn to see the now in focus form figure of the massive twisted metal thing, rushing rusty, pointy, and fearsome in towards your location. Time stops for the moment as you decide things, make life choices. A lot of you guys also hear the old man's voice and the ensuing screech. I wanted to say, by the way, Sorth, you've arrived back. The bus, the Rolling Tavern makes its way in towards the place like a while ago, and you've been dropped off.
Okay.
Can I ask, or is the golem? So the shop's here. I'm here. Is the golem like over here, or is it coming from the shop? Like, where is it coming from?
It's coming from around where Bjorn was fucking with the crate, so not too far from you guys, but he's gonna be here in a turn.
Okay, can I hoof it back to the garage as fast as I can? Am I still sort of in distance?
You are a turn away from the garage. He is either a turn away from you or a turn away from the garage.
Okay, I'm gonna hoof it back to the garage and try and get in this vehicle and start it up and get the fuck out of here,
Okay, fair enough.
if possible.
By all means, yeah, no worries. You guys watch in the distance. You guys can see in the distance the form figure of your friends standing like Muhammad Ali over the old man with the fucking trophy in his hand, making life choices, bad ones, and then suddenly fucking hop towards the fucking garage.
Sorth's just gonna like shake his head and pull his bow out to get ready. In his mind, he's going, "I'm getting too old for this shit."
Shoot Ryan in the leg. Slow him down.
Shit. Can I go try and help the old man up?
Yeah.
I should have stayed on the bus.
They're about you have to double move to him, but you can bonus action to help him up.
Yeah, I'll go for that. I'll ask him what happened.
You close the distance upon him as Orion, you see, is headed back towards the way from you came. As you look back over your shoulder, you watch Orion disappear into the garage where De La Vega's legacy sits. Your companions watching this all play out as you close the distance on the old man, who's scrabbling backwards. Stay away! Stay away! Fiends! Fiends! Bandits! Bandits! As you get to him and suddenly shout out what's going on, he relaxes somewhat. You're malignants! You're he dead! He is stolen! Is trying to steal the legacy! As this is all occurring, you're now seeing the massive steel form figure rushing in towards where Orion's gone. And as it comes in upon the garage, it suddenly gets to the doorway and grabs a hold of the garage door at the back and begins to wrench it away from the building. And the old man says, "No! No!" As the huge form figure suddenly wrenches the door off and tears it away. The sunlight pierces in upon the form figure of Orion, now getting himself into the driver's seat as he fumbles to get this thing in with a dexterity check. Which way does it go? Which way does it go?
20, map 20.
Alright. In it goes with a click almost immediately. Jingle, jingle, and as you give it a crank, it makes the same whiny noise. Wait a minute. No, it doesn't, because you hotwired it. Fuck! And you look down at the wires hanging there. Wait a minute, shit! You quickly put the wires back together as the massive golem suddenly reaches down through the back window. Crash! The crystal smashes inwards as it explodes. The massive golem with a fucking 19 plus bonus grasps a hold of you, crushing you in its massive fist for 4 plus, what is it? 4 plus 5 was it? 4 plus 6? Give me a second here. I can't remember this guy's stats.
Ryan woke up today and chose violence.
All he had to do was give us the key, bro.
All you had to do is not get physical.
I tripped. Wasn't my fault he saw me snatch the thing off his neck.
I think by definition it was.
I'm gonna go with Summer on this, honestly. I'm gonna just have to side with that. Nothing personal. Oh god.
And Ryan is dead.
Wait, was I using this one? I just want to make sure of something. There's like 2 versions of this, I thought. No, it was him. So it's +7.
All right.
And, yeah.
So, what did you say? 4 plus 7? 5? What was it? 4?
That's actually the
5?
wrong dice. Sorry. Let me just,
Okay.
grab the correct dice here. Been a while since I put this thing on, let me tell you.
Since the last time the golem kicked their ass? Is that
Yeah, that would be about it. Yeah, actually, couldn't think of it.
Pretty sure I remember the last time I saw this outfit.
PTSD.
I'm gonna get another scotch. Okay.
And pour me one.
Hold on, that's a D8. That's a D8. And that's a D8. Cool. So that's 8 plus 7 for 15 points of bludgeoning as he crushes you in his metal fingers and proceeds to pull you out through the twisted metal hole. You crash against the metal frame, twisting just so as it scrapes upon your body, and you find yourself aloft. With that, it is Bjorn across to the old man, or anybody else who cares to go before Orion.
I'm gonna use a thaumaturgy to make my voice loud and yell at the old man to call him off. This doesn't need to end this way. Call off your golem.
The old man.
We can work this out.
Alright, what did I miss? Who's dead?
I'm not quite dead yet.
The old man scrabbles backwards on his haunches in shock at the scene in front of him. He's sobbing already, tears streaming off his face as he isn't listening in the slightest to you. He begins to suddenly get up and run towards it all, shouting in Kalashite. As you watch this occur, in the distance, the golem stops what it's doing and falls forward, landing on Orion in his grasp. Where did it go here? Yeah. With another 14, 20, plus 7 for 27 more bludgeoning damage, the whole of the machination falls upon you, crashing down on your meat body. As you're crushed underneath it, in a massive avalanche of junk and rusted steel, the old man can be heard in the distance as your friends, your companions, all of them, Barium, Lazarus, Sorth, watch as the old man closes the distance on the now very ventilated House of De La Vega. Does anybody do anything, say anything? If not, the old man falls to his knees, sobbing in front of the whole of the destruction, staring at the machine in front of him.
Miriam's still working on our bus.
Our bus is like right near where all this is happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was Laz in a position to witness any of this going on, or was he just in there helping out Barry?
Barry, Lazarus, and I don't know where Sorth is, but you guys are like literally, like not a few, maybe 30, 50 feet away.
Well, if Bjorn saw it, then yeah, you guys would see it because Bjorn was there helping you.
Yeah. Sorth is just in the middle of the junkyard, just kind of watching.
Barry's got his noise canceling headphones on.
He's listening to like Guardians of the Galaxy music in the background.
So,
Ice Girls.
the old man sobs on his knees in front of the whole of it as he slowly scrabbles or slowly crawls himself to his feet, holding onto the door jamb, staring around the whole of it, staring at this thing, this massive mess. He walks forth through it all, closing the distance on the pile of metal and scrap that is his golem. He utters something in Kalashite, and the whole of the golem twists to life, standing up over the squashed form of Urian, buried into the sand in a heap of blood and mass. He looks upon your, I'm assuming unconscious?
Yeah. I'm done.
He looks upon your body there, thinking you're dead, spits on you. He looks at the machine, letting out a sob as he walks towards it, and the golem dutifully walks in with him. As it does so, it steps on you. You lose a death save. It doesn't count as a critical hit because it's not actually an attack. So it's not a critical.
Okay.
As the old man looks upon the whole of the machine, walking away from you and beginning the tour of the damage, the golem walks off you. As we hear a swoosh of blood and muscle come off of your body, the whole of you kind of drops off a moment later, falling moistly into the ground. You don't lose a death save for that. The old man does a tour of the machine, letting out sobs as he goes. Does anybody do anything? Anybody can do anything. You don't see him doing this. He's disappeared into the front of the garage through the man door at the front, and the garage door that I'm talking about is actually at the back. But that's it.
Can I see Orion's body, or is he inside the building still?
He's out the back of the building, so he's on the other side of the building from you guys.
So from where I am, I see a ruined building with this massive golem in it.
From where you're standing, you can see the head of the golem over the squat form of the garage, and you can see the destroyed wall somewhere in the distance, but the wall's at the back, and you can see lots of sunlight coming through the doorway in a fashion that shows the back is missing. I would assume you're closing the distance as the old man is making his way back. So point being is that if you're looking through the doorway, you can absolutely just see there's Orion, there's the golem, there's the old man touring around the vehicle as he comes up towards you. In fact, crossing the hood with tear-stained eyes, he stops and he just stares at you and he says, "This is your friend?"
He's part of my crew, and your golem's it's killed him.
Yes.
Why did you attack him?
He attacked me, and he keeps walking around the front of the vehicle, and he gestures. He tries to steal the De La Vega legacy. He is a common bandit. And he crosses across to the rear quarter of the car as the golem dutifully turns to face him on the outside of the garage and walks in to meet him, stepping on Orion again. You lose another death save.
Let me take my friend and I'll bury him as is appropriate.
The man looks at you and says, "Yes. Well." He gives a nod and he walks over towards the body and hunkers down. And he lowers Orion's pants and produces a knife.
Leave him.
He doesn't listen.
You will not desecrate the dead.
He doesn't listen.
Alright, I'm gonna...
Can Source see this?
No.
Oh my god, help me.
Bjorn is watching this happen, but you wanted to what?
I'm probably gonna upcast a guiding bolt at him. Maybe...
And we now killed the old man.
Oh, we gotta speak right.
And there's no one to stop the golem. Just putting that
Well,
out
I think
there.
if he dies, the golem dies, isn't it? One of those summon things?
Yeah, but I'm about to knife one of my crew, So, yeah, I'm gonna attack him with a 4th level guiding bolt.
All right.
Overkill?
Probably.
Hopefully.
So that's a 16
Hits.
and 27 damage.
Oh shit, that'll do it. Not before there's a slight incision. You don't lose a death. You don't lose a death save for it.
I feel like I did.
You
Can't
probably
make anything
should.
for it, buddy.
You're gonna feel like you did. But the guiding bolt sails in. Are you targeting anything specific on the old man?
Just his
Oh, right.
torso.
Just his torso? That's fair enough. The guiding bolt sails off with a quick release of energy. The whole of the air kind of twists around it. It sails away, and a moment later, you watch as the poor fellow explodes from the gliding bolt, his bits spattering against the golem, as the whole of the golem's torso and crotch area are exploded upon the giblets of the old man's torso and head, bursting from the exploding energy of the guiding bolt, soaring up into his sternum. The whole of his bottom half falls away from where you can see his knife stuck inside Orion's testicles. One of his testicles situated on the ground moistly next to his sack.
Oof.
Blood slowly
Keep it for
ebbs and
later,
pumps.
keep it for later.
Blood slowly ebbs and pumps out as the lone testicle seems to almost float on the river of gore, down and away from his body. I can't believe I'm describing this, but here we are. With that said,
I'm gonna run up next to him.
the golem, By the
I
way.
want to put myself between him and the golem. Shield out.
alright. As the golem suddenly takes a swing back towards you, it hits with a 23. Does that hit?
Yeah. Yep.
Where's that again? There's that, and that. This guy's gonna hit again like a truck for 13 plus 4. Sorry, what is that? 13 plus 4, 17, plus another 7 for 24 points of damage. As it smashes down into where your shield comes just barely between you and its form, the whole of you crushes down, punching the whole of your face into your knee. As you manage to spring up with adrenaline pumping through you a moment later in reaction, you rush forward, situating yourself over the old man, and as you look up, under a massive pile of pointed steel and scraping plates. As it seems to make a sort of face down towards you, it then proceeds to take another pummeling strike down, this time hitting with a 25. For another 10 plus 7, 17 points of damage. And that's his 2. With the second strike scraping off your massive shield, you find yourself pummeled down into where the gore of the corpse and has turned the sand and dirt to muck and mud. As all this is occurring, everybody else can hear the sudden explosion of violence very close by. Sounding very familiar in terms of bludgeoning and twisting steel. Do you guys run in to check shit out, or do you continue to repair the bus?
Sorth is gonna run towards it after seeing the golem the first time.
That's fair. So, bow in hand, you're at the doorway. So we'll start there with you. And Laz, I'm assuming you're a man of action as well.
Yeah, Laz is coming around the corner like, what in the fuck is going on around
All right,
here?
so you and Sorth bury him.
Yeah, Baron's annoyed with all the noise.
Very nice.
That isn't his own.
That's fine. The lot of you guys rush in towards, closing the distance on the doorway. From there, we see the flash of your eyes. I guess whatever. Sorth can go first, and then we'll go Laz and then bury him.
All right. So I see everything, and I guess I'm just gonna go attack the damn golem.
You're doing so at bow and arrow, right?
Yeah, I still have a bow and arrow.
Yeah.
The frostbow still.
Cool.
Apparently, I changed the thing. Oh shit. It was a 1.
Oh
It
shit.
was a nat 1.
The arrow sails away.
Still that one.
The arrow sails away, striking a nearby pile of junk. As it does, the pile suddenly topples in towards where your companions and the golem are situated. As it does so, I need Bjorn to make a dex save as the creature makes a dex save. With a 16, a bunch of the junk hits it and rolls away. There's no major damage.
14.
You manage to narrowly avoid getting crushed by a large piece of steel that narrowly misses Orion's head.
Sorry, Bjorn.
Dust explodes against his the side of him as he kind of rolls over to the one side. The knife pops out, and there's even more blood. It's so gross. Anyway, that said, the golem adjusts slightly as this occurs. There's sound waves and whatnot, coupled with that dropping steel, and coupled with the rolling of. You watch the testicle actually fly away, and it bounces a couple times down the road,
Fuck.
rolling to a stop, several feet away.
I need it.
With that, sorry, Sorth, you rush in, firing upon, missing, and causing even worse destruction. Oopsie, it's over to Laz. Tell me of your actions. Tell me of your heroism, sir.
Yeah, looking at the assessing everything. I guess first things first is getting over to Orion and getting a potion on him. Just seeing him there as a bloody pulp. How far away am I?
You're situated about 10 feet away.
So I can get there and get this on him.
It's just on the other side of the garage, yeah. Well, maybe 15 feet. The point being.
Yeah, that's where I'm headed.
You rush in across the massive figure of the phoenix, coming across its chromed and damaged. You come to close upon where Orion lies on the ground, and Bjorn stands above him. The massive golem creaks and wrenches its several poles of steel around, the massive plates spinning and rotating like a giant mutated crane to observe upon where you've entered the fray. As this occurs, the camera pans to show Barium as Laz starts to administer the potion.
How far away am I?
You're also at the doorway, only about 15 feet away from the fray.
I would like to pull out a staff, which I don't think I had equipped. I haven't had that equipped for a long time.
No worries.
And I'm gonna cast a scorching ray at it.
Okay.
Actually, wait, I can because there was no long rest. Never mind on that. I'll get within 10 feet and use a poison spray instead.
Did you guys really not have any sort of long rest? Oh, what's that, lobster?
No, we didn't.
No.
We were working through the night.
Yeah.
Sweet, sweet. Everyone's got a level of... No, I'm kidding. But, that said, no scorching ray then. What do you do? The camera pans against your exhausted face. You stare off and prepare to fire off your energy bolts, your hands at the ready when you realize, as you look upon the blearing sun overhead with your bleary eyes, you're too weak. Time slows for the moment as you regard your situation and life choices here amidst your companions. What will you do? The heat beats down on your scales.
10 feet of...
You find your reflection in the side of the phoenix. The twisted metal twisting your face. You move to position. Now you've got lots of cover behind the car. What do you do? You can see the golem just ahead. Your companions underneath it. Wind blows over the place, sand blasting against you all. What do you do?
I'll move within 10 feet of the golem.
Yeah. You're there. Now what?
And cast a poison spray at it.
Your friends are underneath it. Like they're right basically in its space. Between you and it. From where you're situated. Can you target through people? Or is it
Just
is it a stream?
it's just a range of 10 feet. It's not an area.
Oh, okay.
Of the spell.
Fair enough. Saying that, you give a quick wave of your hand and fire an arcane arc of energy over your friends' heads, finding its mark with a roll of. Is it a roll?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a con 14.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it is.
Save.
With a 19 plus bonus, it saves against.
I rolled a 23 on damage. That was plus the arcane firearm, which it would take half of that damage, I believe.
Okay. So, as the poison spray of poison damage lands upon the golem ahead of you, you watch as the fluids
Actually, it doesn't take half.
soak upon it and drip off.
Shit.
And that's you guys. As the camera pans down against Bjorn's face, it shows as the golem figure above him rears back, and you watch as, to your sudden surprise, there's a welling of a pump in the center of it that expands, a sort of lung that fills with fluid, and as it burbles and bubbles, it suddenly compresses. And the thing leans forward with a wrenching of metal on metal as sparks fly and fluid sprays. Green and viscous. A large swath of it explodes across in a 15-foot cone, turning to gas as it strikes into the air. Filling the whole of the space in front of it, we watch as Bjorn and Barium, and then, Sorth, you were at range in the doorway, you're fine. Barium, you're within the range of it, and Laz, you are as well. So, yeah, Laz, Barium, and Bjorn, you guys can all make me a DC 19 con save.
Hold on, where was this being aimed at?
15 feet from the point of it in front of it. So 15-foot cone. Well, I guess it doesn't technically count there, but it's going to aim down, so we'll make it a shorter range, but that still catches everybody.
That sucks.
So, Sorth takes it too.
I failed.
Sorth doesn't get hit with it. No, he's just outside it. And you watch as actually the room just fills, and as the cloud curls around, just poof in front of you, little stinky ribbons of it come wafting out. They smell of sulfur, and they smell wet and thick. As they rest upon your nostrils, they burn harder than the smell of sulfur in the alley that you pass through. As your companions make their respective rolls,
What was the roll?
DC 19 con save.
Alright, someone needs to summon their god.
I failed.
Jesus, this is gonna be bad.
Yeah, so Ryan was all killed.
It was going so well.
15. When did it go well?
I had a plus 10 on the sleight of hand. I thought it would
20
be
to
great.
mission. Or the nat 20.
If you passed, you take half of 59.
Oh.
So that would be 28, rounding down. So if you succeeded, you take 28 28? No, hang on, that's incorrect. Sorry. 28? Yeah, 28. Otherwise, it's 59.
Can I use my stone's endurance?
Does it count against poison? Does it count against poison damage?
No, I don't know.
What the fuck? Is this a super golem?
No, it's a
Oh,
regular
shit.
one. It's regular. I actually double checked to
God.
make sure I wasn't thinking of the reduced threat one. It's like a different golem. I was like, okay, that's not the one.
Oh man.
No,
You
this
is
is
4 away from
59 in damage?
59 damage, yes.
That's
It was
poison
nice knowing
damage?
y'all.
That is poison damage.
I had to witness all this.
Yes, you are watching it. Your friends actually begin coughing and hacking violently, unable to withhold themselves. They clearly are suffering incredible pain. As the lot of you suffering it are feeling the entirety of your esophagus burn as if somebody had stuck a hot poker down into your throat. And we're just jamming it back and forth.
I feel like I've like literally coughed out a lot.
About this, yes. As you situate yourselves such that you hope to not die as you are currently dying, those of you who... does anybody drop or are you still alive? Everybody still alive?
I dropped.
You dropped?
Nope.
Bjorn dropped?
Dropped.
Everybody's dropped?
TPK.
I think that's more health than any of us have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thorth is alive.
I'm still alive.
I have 59 on a good day.
Oh.
52.
Dude, not a good day.
It was, yeah.
As the camera
Almost
pans
instantly
against
killed
Sorth's
me.
face to show the golem standing on the other side, you watch as it suddenly jumps into the air, landing just on the other side of the building, but not quite, so it crashes through the front of the building, crushing a bunch of the wall and ceiling. You watch as the old man's domicile crashes in on itself, imploding in a shower of dust that blows up over where the golem lands. As it takes a step, it finishes its movement there. It doesn't. It's now 15, 10. No, it's crashed to the place. So it's about 10 feet away from you. The whole of the front wall blows out just off to the side, and a bunch of rubble splashes off you. But you're still in the doorway. It's over there, and it's looking inward the building towards you as bits of the ceiling are crashing down in front of you.
Okay.
Your turn.
Who's the
Hey, Dad.
closest person to me?
Play dead.
That would be Barium, actually.
We aren't playing. We're dead.
Barium's the closest to me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to quickly run over to Barium and cast Cure Wounds on him.
As you rush into the cloud, throw me a DC 19 con save.
Wait, yeah, okay, so the cloud is actually there. Okay, let's not run into the cloud. Shit.
You start to rush in, and then a moment later, right, no, I can't do that. What would Kurgan do, you think? And he'd say, don't go into the cloud. And you're like, I know that, Kurgan, I just thought of that already.
Damn it, so far.
Oh, wait, it's fine, I got beef jerky. I was thinking of
How deep
Kurgan,
is-
you know.
How deep in the cloud is he?
He's 10 feet away from you inside the cloud.
So, could I, like, hold my breath, run in, Cure Wounds, and book out?
100%.
Alright, that's what I'm gonna do.
Wait, are there verbals to healing
No,
word?
it's just touch. Oh wait, no, yeah, VS.
Healing word, right?
No, it's just Cure Wounds.
Oh, cure wounds? Okay. Is it somatic or verbal and somatic?
It's verbal and somatic.
Right.
Or, yeah, shoot, okay, so I do need to speak.
Can't just say it in your head.
No. Klaatu, Verata, Ningla.
Okay, would I be able to run in, drag him out, and then do it?
100%. Throw me
That's what I'm
athletics.
gonna Run in, hold my breath, drag Barry.
Throw
out.
athletics.
Oh my god. What the fuck? Is this Felix's grand entrance where he comes and just brings us all back to
14.
What's that?
It's a 14.
You manage to grab a hold of your companion and drag him out from the fray. As you do this, the golem just simply watching you as you run across and then run back.
Alright, now can I cast Cure Wounds on him? Would that be an action already?
I'll count grabbing the guy's I'll count it as a movement with a bonus action to pick him up. So you can have your action.
Alright, cool. Then I'm heal him for 6.
Okay.
Nice.
You do so.
And, how much movement would I have left? Because that's 10 in, 10 out.
You're out of
So
movement for
probably-
having dragged your friend.
Oh, okay, right.
Hell, you've got a deficit of 5 and a action economy deficit in this whole scene. So rule of cool.
Okay. Nice.
Point
That's
man.
it.
With that, you bear down some healing word. Your friend snaps to attention. As he does so, he experiences an incredible aching, stabbing pain that washes up from never mind where.
Oh, what happened?
You got gassed. Run.
Your throat feels still on fire.
Oh,
Your head feels like it's 3 sizes too small, and the whole of your body feels like it's made of lead. But you manage to rouse yourself up. Somehow, your muscles exist within this solid state structure that is otherwise your body. As you rouse up, looking around at the horror show in front of you, you see the massive stature of the golem as you. Barium, what do you
Lay dead.
do? Drop to the ground.
No, I'm book it. I'm running.
All right. Barium bravely turns around and gets the fuck out of there!
Retreat towards future victory, Barry.
Bravely.
This danger, it's ugly. Gives a very turn to the flat.
Summer takes 5 experience. Mighty Python's great. You rush away from the scene where your friends lie within the cloud. The poison floating conveniently above their bodies so that they don't lose death saves. As the scene unfolds, we watch the massive golem reach down with a swing, smashing through the building's frame and striking it towards Sorth. With an 18 plus bonus, we watch as Sorth is connected with a massive strike with 24 damage, 25 damage exploding against, 15 plus 7 would be 22. Another 7 brings us to 29. 29 damage explodes against Sorth's body. As his scales rupture, blood seems to spill from the incredible strike as the whole of him reverberates inside his skeletal mass, crumbling near crumbling with the force.
Yeah, I had 3 HP.
You
That was
sail
it.
away, rolling through the dirt, ragdolling end over end and coming to a heaping halt against a pile of metal and mass. The golem looks out towards where Barium is running away. You double move, I'm assuming.
Yep.
It double moves. You double move, I'm assuming.
Yep.
It catches up. Actually, hang on, let me double check. Nope.
LeBron James.
It's got the same movement. I thought it had 40 feet. My apologies.
How much does it have?
It has 30.
Oh shit.
Oh shit! Never mind. Okay. Oh,
Is there any small corner I can duck into? A little tunnel system or something? Alleyway?
all you can think is run, but I mean, probably, yeah. There's all sorts of alleys and causeways, and the whole of the landscape is just a giant maze if you want to get into it. You're currently on the main drag, and you can see the gate off in the distance, around a little bend. You can also see that it's shut.
Oh, shit.
See that train coming.
As Barium is running towards it, the golem running towards Barium. Do you continue
You
one
got
way or the
anything?
other?
Can you whisper to creatures of metal?
Act like you're tougher than it. It might scare it away.
Bend over and spread my cheeks.
We need you alive, so.
All that's happening, bud.
I mean, it's just, you keep running.
As the camera pans against your
There's nowhere to
face
run.
to show you the uncertainty, the fear, the frustration, the sense of loss, the frantic search for a solution. The camera pans closer and then cuts closer to your eyeball, sweat drizzling down your scales as you huff and run past the frame of the camera with the massive steel thing in chase. It cuts and pans overhead some city streets, and we hear a loud and sudden and distinctive popping in the distance. And as one after the next, the echoing shots ring out, we see the formed silhouette of an individual rushing down the street as several guards chase after him. The slender figure, long coat about him, dances away from a group of the guards. At the far end, as the golem's figure charges up the way towards where the bus is, and Bjorn is beyond, and Barium is beyond. As we watch the tall, slender figure look out upon what he sees to be a strange scene indeed. A large robotic figure down a long stretch of street through what he sees to be a junkyard. The guards behind you, wounded as they are, start to break off chase, deciding you're not worth the trouble. And you're left standing at the gate of a large stretch of path, upon which each side you could see large piles of flattened steel. And in the far side of this long stretch of dirt road, you can see the frantic and desperate figure running away from a giant made of wrenching steel. Hi, Felix. What are you doing?
He's frozen in time.
You cut off. Can you say that again?
Ooh, the cool music. Better make it good.
He said, what are you doing?
Oh, it's just going straight to me after getting chased by Rick, or the golem chasing Rick.
So, you were just getting chased by a bunch of guards that recognized you. You managed to wound a bunch of them. They broke chase off and fucked off, but you're now standing in front of the junkyard's main gate. You can see it's locked and it's got a bit of a gate, a portcullis across, but there's a gap where you're situated, and through it, although the whole thing is barred, so you can see through the gate, but you're standing at the opening through which you can see some lizardly sort of draconic dragonborn something or other running up towards you, but he's quite a distance away. We're talking easily about 60, maybe 80 feet away.
Okay.
Running frantically towards the gate, you can see only about maybe 20 feet behind him the large giant of wrenching steel anthropomorphically dashing as fast as its huge form can to catch him.
How close are the guards to me?
The guards have fucked off.
Oh, they're just gone? Alright.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take one look at the giant ass golem, and I'm gonna say, no way. And just make it like a hard left, and go across the perimeter of the junkyard.
Okay, so you're just following the wall or what?
Yeah. I'm looking for, or basically I'm moving out of the way of the rampaging golem plus the dragonborn.
Oh, that's easy enough. You just, yeah, okay, fair enough. Okay, you walk away from the gate, or run away from the gate, I should say. And that's you.
Maybe while I'm running, I do like a couple flips. I don't know.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, fair enough. So it actually shows you say your line like super up close on your lips, like really exaggerated, and then it shows you exit stage right, and then it just shows you arbitrarily doing a bunch of random acrobatics, and then you continue to run down the wall length. It's really epic. That said, camera pans against Barium. What do you want to do? I mean, you could try to lose the thing in the maze.
I think that's the only thing I can really think to do.
Okay.
I'll try to run through the maze.
You veer. Running in through what you figure is the best alleyway. You twist. You jump over a few of the flat stalks. You find yourself on a bit of a causeway. And you look over towards where you hear an echoing crash and you see piles of the flat stock behind you. And you see massive chunks of steel flying as you hear another crash, and you see the form figure of the golem suddenly in the air as it leaps up, lands on the flat stock piles, and begins to run across them, closing the distance on you as you turn another corner. As it comes down towards you, it knocks a bunch of the piles over. They crash forth in a domino pile. Make me a dex check. A dex save, sorry, dex save.
Oh, save. And 15.
With a 15, you manage to leap out of the way of the crashing piles of steel. As bits of metal roll away, you continue to run as the creature lands in behind, pushing things slowly out of the way. It then continues to chase. You find yourself coming up towards a gap between the piles. You're going to have to jump it or jump down. Which is it? The jump down looks like it's about 20 feet. You don't know if you can make it, but you could try. And the gap across...
Gotta jump it then.
The gap across is about 10 feet. And you don't know if you can make that, but you can try.
Oh my god.
The pattering of your scaled
Try
feet
to jump across.
heavily slams against the tops of the flat piles as you suddenly take to flight. Rolling athletics, you leap across the gap. People can inspire you even if they're dead.
Oh my god.
You hear my voice. Hello to you as you're flying through the air.
Would you roll there?
And
The first one was a 4.
Well, you're inspired as hell, so go for it.
Okay, the second one's an 18.
God.
Landing with a clatter because of the rule of cool, everybody can now make a death save.
Shit.
That's alright.
Even though Barium has had several turns, we're gonna let that go.
Success.
Oh.
Yeah,
Maybe
I would
that
help you,
resurrection,
Rick,
right?
but yeah.
Nat 20.
Oh, not
That's
20?
not good.
Yeah.
Somebody had to, I guess. As you look out towards the village, you simply look out for a moment, and then you say to yourself, you know this place. And you deny this place now. Now is not the time for this place. The hunt will wait. There is a greater hunt that waits. And almost as if you were bending it all to your own will, something responds. And in a sudden maelstrom, you watch the horizon swirl all about you, and cyclone you and your whole self away. Wisping you, you feel yourself torn to shreds and reassembled a moment later. And you find yourself situated on the ground where your form figure has now been kind of put back together despite its ragdolling into the pile. You come to and pull yourself off, toppling to the ground. In a heap, you exhale, coughing down, and you're on all fours, looking around.
I don't see the golem anywhere, can I?
You can hear it easily enough as it crashes through the piles off in the distance.
Okay, knowing that it's far enough away, how close am I to the old shed where everybody's laying, dying?
You're only about maybe 20 feet away from it.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Looking over towards it, you see the cloud has cleared.
Oh, okay, cool. It's gonna crawl, so that's much easier. All right, I'm gonna try to bring myself to stand and hobble my way over.
You rush forward, finding yourself surprisingly balanced. For the moment, it suddenly rushes to your head and you find yourself stumbling, but you keep aloft and run forth towards your companions. You close the distance upon Orion and Bjorn easily enough.
Okay, which one's closest to me?
They're both together. I mean, either one's
All right,
good.
well, I'm gonna. Oh shoot, no, I have a deficit in my action, don't I?
No, that was just that turn. I was stating that I was being nice on the actions.
Awesome. Okay, in that case, then I can actually cure wounds. I'm gonna cure wounds. Probably Bjorn because he can heal more too.
Okay.
So that's a 6.
So you heal him for 6. Okay.
Yep.
As you look over towards the boat captain, he looks over towards the horizon and he says, "Right on time."
Later.
He gives you a wave as you step off the boat and are transported back to reality. Whoop, there goes gravity. With Orion, I'm assuming, Bjorn snaps in. I'm assuming Bjorn is going to be healing Orion.
Yeah. I can try.
As you move in to do this, Orion, make me another death save.
I'm already. I'm
Oh, you're dead?
3 strikes.
Oh, you're dead.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Well, you gave me 2 before.
That's right. Okay, I didn't know you failed last one. I thought you still had one left.
Hold on. I hit you with a healing potion.
Yeah, you did
before
hit you with the
golem
potion.
hit you again.
Yeah, so you
Oh.
so you got knocked out again.
Okay.
You're fresh, bud. You got one strike right now. So this will be your
one
second.
strike.
Yeah.
All right.
How much did the
13?
healing
Is that a-
potion do, though?
What are you saying?
How much did the healing potion do? Because that golem did 59 damage.
Oh, but it has to do more than his Oh yeah, actually, how much? Oh yeah, how much hit
Yeah,
points
but
do you
you're-
have? Oh my
You
gosh,
want me to roll it?
how many hit points do you have?
How many do I have?
Like your max? What is your max hit points?
33.
Oh shit,
Oh, yeah, you're in trouble.
you're actually dead. You got wiped
I
out
didn't even
by.
know I was alive. I
Because
thought I was
this-
still down.
No, yeah, you got the healing potion, but then the smoke hit. Am I right? Yeah, the
Yeah.
cloud hits. That outdid you.
I didn't even roll to save that because I thought I wasn't.
You
in.
don't though. It's your max hit points plus your current hit points. If it's done in one hit.
But I didn't even roll to save.
Oh,
Did
if
I
he makes
roll?
a save,
Yeah.
it would have been.
Because I didn't even know I was in that.
Wait, do you get a save
so
for
I
instant death? Hang on, maybe you get a save for instant death.
No, for the poison gas.
For the poison,
Because
'cause
if
I
he
thought I
takes
was
half
still down.
damage.
Oh, didn't you
Then
make a
he's
save for
back.
this? Oh, give me a save then.
what was it again? It was.
19
Con?
Constitution, yeah.
Oh,
Let's make it
God.
legit.
Fuck. Oh man.
Oh,
Snooter said all the sound cut off for him.
I got 10.
it's
So you're dead.
you get one more shot at it.
What, through the stream? Says we're still
Yeah, through
transmitting.
Zoom.
Oh, weird. I don't know, I can hear everybody.
16.
Tell him to hit the settings for his speaker and switch them if he can to like system default and the actual device and then back again. That sometimes helps.
Alright, you were not meant to live in this one.
Yeah.
So, with that said,
Frustrated man.
as you look upon the desiccated body in front of you, you look upon the husk of what was your companion, its dried out form vigor, destroyed by the strange, smoldering poison gas that has clearly rotted away his flesh, to the point that the whole of his skin and his face is sunken in, dried from the strange substance. It doesn't look
So
like...
he's gonna look at Bjorn and go, "So can you save him?"
And in truth, you don't think you can. He needs more than you can give him at this point.
Yeah.
Ooh, maybe I can build
Yeah.
some parts for him.
We never got around to buying that diamond so I could bring someone back. He's with Valkyr now. Maybe.
And as you say this, I have to ask, who's Orion's patron, saint, god, who?
It's what's her name again? Dalthun. She's the god of darkness and like thievery. I think that was her name. Gotta find it here.
Dalathon. That's it.
Dalathon?
Yeah.
Man, I Google that name, I find
The
nothing
Lady of Mystery.
I find nothing but, like, Loth references.
I don't know.
Lady of
That's what
Mystery?
I found. Yeah.
Lady of Mysteries shows up as Mystra for me.
Oh, they could have changed it.
Man, where did you get this reference?
It was on a D&D site.
Like a random D&D site?
I made it
Like-
so long ago.
Like somebody made something up and posted it and you were like, hey, this looks good. Like, am I Googling for nothing? Or is there an official thing?
There's the Lady of Mysteries. I don't know. It could be made up.
Like you just pulled something up?
worshippers-
We'll post it in the
Yeah.
Discord so we can see what the hell this is. I'm really effing curious over here.
Could be made up. I have no idea. I just found it and thought it was cool.
ilovednd.com.
Because there's a whole bunch here that they got listed.
Dalatun, the Lady of Mysteries. Alright, here we go.
Symbol purse full of coin.
Alright, she looks
She's an
good.
intermediate deity.
No, she's legit. She's good. Alright. Cool. As Bjorn says, maybe, there's a spinning coin that's shown on a table under a low light as it glints with firelights and strange arcanic lights pinpointed around a dark space surrounding. The camera turns around and we can see pale, pallid faces glowing all around this space from various tables in it. As it comes to stop on a roulette wheel that stops a sudden moment later, we watch as a ball flies past the camera and we see past the roulette wheel the frame of a door that suddenly opens up to show a very confused Orion who stands in the doorway looking across at a dark space. Well, it's candlelit as you look around. Oh, there are blue candles in some places that they slowly illuminate, and you realize that it went from darkness to light, and you almost didn't notice. So you look all around, and you see the various tables, all adorned with different individuals, and you recognize some of them. As you look upon some of these faces, you start to see them come into focus against the darkness that's receding. You worked with him. Died that day after saving you from a fall. You know that fellow there. You saved him, and then sometime later you watched him take an arrow through the throat. As you continue to walk amidst the tables, you see one fellow look at you, and he grabs you by the arm, and he says, I remember you. I still owe you money. Well, you can win it from me here. Good to have you here. And he grabs a fistful from the pile in front of his cards. And some of the other players, hey, and it's fine, here. And they quiet down immediately. And you look upon them, confused as to why they don't seem to care that he's grabbing from the pot. And as he holds it forth towards you, do you take it? He's just handing you a fistful of the gold.
I'll look at him and...
Different coins. There's platinum. There's silver. Must be about
look
maybe 200 gold-ish in there amidst all the platinum and gold. Like literally a big old fistful. Double fistful, I should say.
This seems all too easy. I'm usually used to taking things, not being given them.
He gives a slight
I've not
smile
earned
and
this.
throws it back on the pile. Suit yourself. We'll meet again soon. Go on. You have to be registered, he says. And as you regard him saying this and look to where he points, he, gesturing relaxedly, goes back to his cards, picking them up. And he looks upon them and gives a tisk, and then looks towards and throws into the pot. As the next player regards their cards, you look ahead and you see a large desk at the back, adjoining a large bar that stretches away down into the dark corner. And you can see a few figures there, different forms, different races. As a few of them look over towards you, they go back to their conversations, their drinks. There's a large bartender across the bar who looks up at you as he takes a large bottle off, and as he comes towards, he gestures you forth. The people at the desk that you can see, there's a spindly figure in a black robe with a white feather and a black book. And you can see aside him a small page, standing aside, pallid, white hair down to his shoulders, white eyes staring forth. The bartender, a jovial-looking fellow with rosy cheeks, a bald head, and a beard. No, the previous music was better. The bartender, a large man with broad shoulders and a massive head, bald and reflective, and the large blue and orange candlelight all around this space. With a smile, gestures you forth as he places the bottle with a clatter on the table, and a moment later produces a crystal glass that you see rainbow reflecting in the firelights.
Does the glass have anything in it? Or do
Not
I
yet.
have to pour it myself?
He takes the cork off the long-necked thing. And as you come in towards, what was Orion's favorite drink?
He was a rum guy. Pirate, rum goes hand in hand.
He takes the long-necked bottle that you recognize as you come towards and find your space on the seat. You look upon the blue azure crystal of it from those islands whence upon, and as it pours out, you can hear the waves of the sea crashing on the coral reef that night where you were with her. Or him, yeah, I don't know what Orion's. But anyway, as the fluid fills the glass, and the bartender stunk, puts the cork back on with a squick, he puts the bottle down and he says, "You can have the rest. You'll be here a while." He turns away, and as he does so, you see down the bar and you see a cherub-looking individual, a woman, sitting cross-legged in black leathers and a rather revealing black leather top. With her high boots and a smile on her face, she sits at the end and looks across at you, and she gives a point across back towards where the desk is, and you see the spindly figure in the black robe as he simply looks up at you, and the page walks over and looks up at you and says, "Name, please?"
Well, why do you need to know? By the way, how do I get out of here? I've got things to do. I've got a crew to command and got a race to win.
The camera pans against you as you say these words. It pans against from various cuts in a frantic form.
I'll pound back the drink.
As the glass clatters down, it pans from the glass to the boy's head, squat at the level of the bar, and it shows your form as he looks up towards you, the reflection of you in his eyes, as he says, "Name, please?"
It's Orion. Orion Trigger Figure, the Sand Kraken.
He gives a slow nod at this. "The Sand Kraken," he simply says with a pleasant
Yes.
intonation, and he steps
You've heard of
backwards. "We've all heard of you," he says as he turns around back towards the tall robed individual who is already busily scrawling in the book. He watches the book
And
snap shut.
Who's he?
The boy wordlessly walks over towards the figure, and the both of them get up. And as they walk away from the table, turning around it and walking out through the door that you came through, the door slams shut, The camera pans against your face as you look around the chamber. And the bartender says to you, "How are you? You want another?"
No, thank you. Where does that door go? And who are those people?
He asks you, "What door?" And he looks up towards the wall, and as you look over towards the door, there's no door. There's a window there. And there's a bright light shining through. It's sun, it's morning. It's nice. It's pleasant. Rolling clouds, shadows across the landscape, trees in the distance. You look all around and you don't see any doors. You see the tables full of men and women playing various games. You can see halls leading away and coming back into the chamber. You explore them, I'm assuming, at some point or another. They lead to bed chambers. They lead up and down stairs. You see a cellar. There's booze. You're told, "Please don't go there, staff only." You do anyway. You're here for days, weeks. After a while, you realize, even though you're eating and drinking, you're never really hungry or thirsty. You realize one day that it has been weeks. You know everybody by name. You know all their histories. They all know yours in some fashion or another. Even if you haven't told them things, they know things about you. You realize you've known them. Time continues to pass. And the camera slowly pulls back away from you at one of the tables one day. Another one of the azure crystal bottles nearby. And a fat stack of gold nearby. And as you place down your cards, we don't hear the words you're talking, but you're describing something amazing. And a few of the men and women at the table laughing jovially as one of them spills a drink, somebody else throws a rag. The laughter continues as the camera pulls away through the dark hole and continues on until the pinpoint of light that is where you are disappears away. Credits begin to roll. As we watch Felix making his way, picking through the streets. It crossfades again to show Barium closing the distance upon... sorry, you're running in towards where your companion... doing the thing, healing all you guys. And then you guys were... all risen at this point? Laz is up?
I don't think Laz is up yet.
Not Laz is Laz is not up yet. Alright.
I threw a healing word at him.
Alright, cool. And I'm pretty sure that's everybody is up at this point.
How did you guys survive?
20 maybe.
So, with that, there's a brief montage of this thing coming in towards, trying its best to crash over and through the field of destruction to close the distance on you guys. As you guys make your way out the back of the place.
I've got a ride over my shoulder.
Okay. His desiccated form shaking about, ragdolling as you desperately make your way through the maze of destruction, running away from God's knows the horror showing encroaching. Sorry?
Did I manage to death grip the key before dying? Like, is it in my cold dead hands right now?
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
Can't wait for that to sink into the ocean during your Viking funeral.
Yeah,
you guys
grabbed a key, so.
you guys jump into the bus, I'm assuming, and roast. Is that a correct assumption?
Mm-hmm.
But what happened with Barium and thought I was jumping across a gap.
I thought you were closing the distance on your friends and healing them and shit.
Well, you
Oh no,
jumped
Sorth did that. Fuck me.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I
I fucking gapped on this. My apologies. As you guys are healing up, right? Barium's action scening it in towards you guys. Having leaped crossing across the piles, you guys can hear the encroaching, crashing form figure of the massive giant. As we show Bjorn carrying Orion, Laz, and Sorth rushing towards the bus, we see in the distance on the horizon the small figure of a desperate, exhausted, and highly adrenaline charged Barium making as fast as he can towards the bus. And you can see the destroyed hut in the distance over as you leap across gap after gap, as suddenly something gives way and you're sliding down. You're heading towards a large collection of broken, jagged bits of glass, crystal, and metal all sticking up. There's only one chance to leap out of the way as you slide down towards it. Press X not to die. We're gonna roll. We're gonna roll athletics to leap out of the way, unless you can think of another way to do it. Like if you can stop yourself from sliding, you can probably climb off the one side. Of course, that'll be slower. But the golem's moving fast.
Gotta go for speed.
So athletics to leap across.
Got a nat 20.
Holy fuck. As you come down to the bottom, you parkour it across. You manage to land on the other side with an incredible roll, picking up speed as you erupt out of it and launch yourself forth. With a renewed adrenaline, you pump across several more of the large causewayed piles, jumping down off of the piles, landing on one, then the other to reach ground level. You throw me a last athletics check to sprint towards your friends.
Got a 7.
Can I inspire him?
You may. You 100% may.
Save the meat, Baron. Save the meat.
11.
Oh.
You just barely, with lungs on fire, crest the doorway of the bus. Over the course of the while that it's been here, you've managed to just get it to turn over. This thing can't go fast, but it can go. Do you just jump into the pilot seat, or is somebody in the pilot seat, or what are you guys doing? You guys waiting for Grey Poupon? What up?
I'll hop right in, or if nobody's in it, I'm hopping in.
All right.
Yeah, so I can't drive.
As you guys bust in upon, you realize why Orion's not in the driver's seat, and you take over. You hit the ignition. The machine chuffs for a moment, but doesn't turn over. And in the distance, you hear the crashing, the roaring. You can hear the golem coming. Do you try it again? What do you do?
Of course. It's the only option.
The camera pans against you guys in the after credit scene as you guys bust through the gate and roll out into the street. An explosion of dirt all around as a massive crowd of protesters looks towards the bus, exploding from the yard. One of them points a cudgel out towards you as another one throws what looks to be a flaming jar out towards where you scream away as the flames explode on the ground, spreading across the dirt. And with an explosion of dust, the engine echoes, carrying the lot of you away, new plates gleaming and clanking amidst the old, as the bus rolls anew. Anything last second, last minute as you guys are in the bus? Anything we're doing before we close her up?
How many more healing potions do you have left?
2.
Okay.
I think we gotta find a place to
Just
rest regardless.
for sure.
Yeah, maybe like a church or something, you know, where magical healers, you know, can like.
How much does that cost?
I got lots of money.
I mean, he
Might be priceless.
That
we
is-
could just, eat him.
Just a good way to honor him.
Oh my god.
Maybe we can find a bathhouse somewhere.
Yeah,
So
maybe.
you
I
got
don't
my-
know.
You got my body. It can't be that expensive. How much is a res?
A
I
res?
got lots of money.
You're gonna have to go to
Yeah.
you're gonna have to go to temple and find out, or find yourself a healer who's willing to do it mobile. I guess.
I got 51 gold.
You guys
Well,
could
Ryan's got lots.
you guys could try to find the Pasha.
I mean,
Ryan's gonna pay for all of this.
That's right.
yeah.
He's already.
Last I saw, he was like tackling an old man to the ground to rob him. I'm not really all that interested.
Saved you. What the fuck? If it weren't for me, you'd be dead on that ship. We wouldn't have even known you were there. All right.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
You're gonna turn Sorth into a cleric. Jeez.
How do you go from saving us to almost getting all of us killed?
Well, like I said, everything was going good. I tripped the guy. It was going good. It was just the sleight of hand. I didn't think he was gonna summon a fucking super golem to kill us.
You summoned the golem last time. This is
I don't
like
remember
that.
it being that strong. Was it that strong last time?
I didn't know the leopard's gonna eat her face as the guy who
We didn't
the
find
leopard's
out.
eating faces party. The fuck.
Alright, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna quit the race. I'm gonna build you a mech suit. You're gonna climb in and you're gonna go fight that golem.
It'll just be my
You
head.
guys are gonna go into business as an arena. So
Oh,
I guess
shit.
I guess you guys know you got your work cut out for you next session. And with that said, Summer, would you hate was your approach least?
I liked how scary the golem was. I liked us getting our comeuppance. Yeah, and I really enjoyed the little death scene with Orion in his casino Hotel California type situation.
It's supposed to be like a guild hall, if you will, but yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was nice to be back. Took us a little longer than I'd like to get going, but we'll set a start time. It wasn't even you. We were all slow. You were only about 5 minutes late when it was all said and done.
Mm-hmm. Truth be.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of fun.
Really? Dobransky, would you hate was least?
I like the whole the setting of the scene where it's like the world around us is practically in chaos. Like there's rioting everywhere and we're
Just
just
madness.
in this junkyard trying to rob an old guy. I thought it was poetic that Orion got one of his testicles removed. It's kind of like
Man, I was hoping I could come back and get that thing. I wear it as a necklace.
barter with it.
Oh man, the ultimate nut.
So, yeah, I definitely didn't see, Source got his butt kicked by it once and was still licking his wounds, and then to come back and see it wreck everybody again, it was just like, I didn't realize how strong it was. Overall, it was a
Did
pretty
you still
good
have your
session.
sack?
No, his sack's in.
I lost one.
Yeah. No, other than that, it was a great session. It's really good to be back.
Right on. Glad you had fun. Sean, would you hate was least?
I hated everyone dying. It's a little rusty having been away for a while. I mean, it kills me having seen a couple of opportunities to try and rectify that situation. You know, instead of literally hightailing it out of there with the with the guy guy's necklace after he got caught in his hand in the cookie jar, like not even trying to like cover it up, just like, peace out, we're out of here. We're going with the golem.
Just tries to roll him in his own yard.
Yeah, like there were opportunities to try and fix things. Like I mean, and I was trying to think about how to get Laz involved. Like, does Laz pick the old man up and kind of like try and act like he's trying to protect him, or I was not thinking fast enough on my feet tonight. But it is really good to be back. I missed it. So.
Right on. Oh my God, Benny, what'd you like? What'd you hate? Was released?
I liked y'all getting shot for a change. Instead of me dying, it's me dying.
I thought the same thing. It was like, oh wow, everybody but Snoot. Shit.
Yeah, I just kind of regret not joining the fight though. When you guys are chasing the golem.
I mean, you'd have no good reason to.
I don't even know if we could have killed that thing.
I don't think
No
so.
way.
No. If he took like one more swing, we would have perma died.
As it stands, I thought it was hilarious. The poison. That was super effective.
I now have a whole bunch of backup characters, and I'm starting to collect them as I get closer and closer to dying.
You're probably like one of the few that has the backup characters, and you haven't yet died. Did you die?
I start making death saves, and I'm like over here rolling.
Did you die in Hunters at all?
No, I did not.
Wow, one of the few. It was quite a few deaths in Hunters. Yeah, it was good.
He was pretty crafty.
Right on. Barium. I mean, Rick, what'd you like? What'd you hate? Was released?
I enjoyed the slaughter. That was a little different.
It's fair.
You know, I'm used to being able to combat most things we encounter until that.
That was a bit heinous, yeah.
I enjoyed Orion's simple act turning into that slaughter. I enjoyed the desperation, death save that Sorth had. The attempt at running away was pretty exciting, and I also enjoyed Ben just turning tail and saying, nah. Yeah, the whole thing was exciting. It was a different experience.
Cool. Glad you liked it. Cody, what'd you like? What'd you hate? Was released?
Well, I liked everything up until the part that my sleight of hand failed me, and then I was like, oh shit!
Of all the skills, too. Of all the skills that you built.
I had a plus 10. I was so sure of that one, too. I was like, yeah.
One away from a crit fail. One away from a crit fail.
But, no, yeah, it was all good. Wasn't the ending I was hoping for Orion, but we'll see what happens, you know? He's got some money, so maybe somebody will bring him back. If not, then got a little backup going here, so... yeah, it was nice to be back. I really like the scene you made for me in the after death scene in the afterlife. That was pretty cool.
Right on.
Yeah, super detailed. Gave me a good picture. I could see him going crazy over a long period of time in there.
That's what happens. You kind of snap and you accept it, and you're part of it.
Yeah. Ooh. Poor guy. No, it's good. Nice to be back.
Right on. I like the pacing. I was surprised that you biffed the sleight of hand. I would have liked more time to describe more of the garage before it was destroyed. Would have liked some leads, some details. I'll have to weave in later. Yeah, all in all, I thought it was a pretty fun session, pretty fun set of scenes. Like Rick summarized nicely there. A bunch of good sets. And like everyone says, it's good to be back. So yeah, I look forward to the next session and getting back on this horse.
Been way too long.
It has been, yeah. It took pretty much all of August off. The last game we played was July 26th. And here we are, September 6th. So, yeah, all of August. But it was good. Nice little breakaway. I think it's good for everybody. Recharge the spirits, recharge the need, the passion, the want. And here we are.
Right.
And until next time, gentlemen, it's been my pleasure to be your proliferant pontificator of excellent exposition, and you, my palate and plethora of players. I thank you. May your 20s always land on 20. Have a good night, gents.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Cheers.
Thanks, Dooley.
Thanks, Dooley.
Cheers, all.
Yeah, so-
And then there was one. And if you like what you see, I stream every Monday from about 7 o'clock, 7:30, 8 o'clock, I don't know, whenever we start. Pacific until 10-ish, 11-ish, Pacific, whenever we finish. And as I say to them, I say unto you, until next time, may your 20s always land on 20.